Hello, and welcome back to In Case of Emergency. That was a thing. I'm a little confused. I kind of thought this game was going to be like college hijinks, but I guess that's also the reason why people told me like they wouldn't say what the game was about. They just go like, "You'll probably like it." It's a complete game, and you just okay. Did not know what was getting myself into, but hey, I'm having a good time, so it's all good. It's all good. As you wander through the castle, you're drawn towards the sound of metal hitting metal. Grunts of exertion leak out of an ajar door in the hallway. Either people are fighting with swords, or a bunch of robots are having a group sex. Why not both? You should probably check it out, just to make sure. As you get closer, you can see that the sounds seem to be coming from a training room of some kind. Looking inside, you see a sand pit lined with dummies made of straw and burlap. Dull swords and shields hung from the stone walls. But the main attraction is the fight taking place in the center of the room. Wes wields a circular steel shield on one arm, rotating it in place as three other fighters attempt to surround him. He never lets them. One breaks formation too early, lunging at him with their sword, but Wes easily knocks aside the attack with his bulwark. I don't know how that's pronounced. He moves fast, each paw finding quick, confident footing in the loose sand below him. He catches your eye, then knocks back one soldier with the surface of his shield, catching the hilt of another sword with the edge of the shield, and swipes the leg of the final assailant out from under him. He lowers his shield against his thigh, panting slightly with exertion.
Let's take a break.
Wes nods to the fighters sprawled out across the sand and joins you at the door.
Hey, it's been a while. What's up?
It's not hard to notice that his expression is easier here. Less guarded than when we'd met in class. Maybe it's because he's been fighting, or maybe it's your arrival in this world. Maybe it's the way his fur is matted and with sweat. Ooh. His ample bosom heaving with every breath, like a woman on the cover of a cheesy romance novel, as he runs a large hand through his fur on the top of his head. Whatever it is, he looks more relaxed. Yeah, I wanted to see you. That is why I chose this. But I was looking at you, I mean, for you. If Wes notices your slip of the tongue, he gratefully doesn't comment on it.
Oh, okay. Did Remus send you?
He said I should look around, so here I am.
Cool, well, this is the training room.
He gestures to the scenery behind him, where his opponents are getting up and brushing sand from their pants.
This is my shield.
He holds up his arm. Engraved on the shield's metal surface is a simple design of curling ivy. The rim is lined with a decorative golden trim and wide metal bolts. It's taken quite a beating, but you can tell the metal is well taken care of. You see your own blurry reflection on the surface.
Have you tried your sword yet?
No, not yet.
You know anything about fighting with a sword?
Absolutely nothing. I'm basically an expert. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Really?
Sure. You hold this end and stab people with the pointy end, right?
Pretty much. Here, let me show you.
Wes motions for you to get in a readied stance, pretending to pull a sword from his hip. In the back of your mind, you think that you should get a scabbard for this thing. You've been carrying it around this entire time, like a lost kid in a toy store.
You want to hold it like this.
Wes guides you through basics of gripping the sword, letting you copy his movements and stance. He shows you a few simple thrusts, how to follow through with your attacks, and how to maintain your balance while striking. Alpha Chad successful! There we go. We're Chad, guys. I'm an Alpha Chad. You're pretty good at. Like any other sport, once you get the hang of the basics, everything else starts to fall into place. The sword begins to feel like an extension of your arm, and after a while, it starts to feel like a very tired extension of your arm. Wes, meanwhile, doesn't seem to be flagging. His hand reaches for yours, and he just adjusts your grip on the hilt. A finger is firm and calloused from training. You can feel the smooth band of a ring against your knuckle, where Wes's left ring finger brushes against yours. It looks fancy, not to mention expensive. You can't help but feel a little curious. Curious. Yes. Is there a downside to keep hitting the romance options? You know, like will he not like if I flirt with him? Is that the thing? You let Wes's hand guide you as he helps you handle your sword. Wink wink. The pads of his palms are tough, but they're gentle as they direct your grip. The ring brushes your finger each time you touch. Come on, it's on the wedding ring finger. You have to ask about it. A cool ring. Where'd you get it?
This? It's from my family.
He examines the back of his hand with a furrowed brow, like he's just as confused by it as you are.
It was my father's, and his father's before him. You know, one of those things you get passed down from father to son.
Like male pattern baldness?
Yeah, sort of. My dad gave it to me when it seemed like I'd be taking his place.
His place?
At the company.
Wes is usually terse, but he seems unusually so with this subject. Okay. What company? What kind of company?
My dad's, well, it's actually a corporation, so it's not really his, but his nomination carries a lot of weight.
And you're going to be his nominee? That sounds like a lot of pressure.
Sure, I guess. I don't think about it.
Wes crosses his arms like he does think about it, but it seems like that's all you're going to get from him. So, how about the end of the world stuff, huh? A bit of tension leaves Wes's body. He seems to appreciate the change in subject.
I don't get it either. Remus has been dropping hints about the resolution for a while now, but we couldn't do anything about it until we had all three pieces. And now that we have you, well, I guess we can finally go after the heart and save the world, or whatever.
So what's the heart? Wes shrugs.
Probably a rock or a monster you'll have to fight. Maybe a rock monster. It's not really my job to know more than that. I just have to hit things and get hit with my big shield. I leave the rest of it to the other people.
What happens after we save the world? What do we do then?
Anything you want, I guess.
Wes frowns in thought.
Before this stuff really started happening, the world was different, nicer. I used to come down here all the time. I'd take walks down to the town, explore, and sit by the river. The water's so much clearer here. You could probably drink straight from the stream if you wanted.
We should do it together. I'd love to go with you sometime.
Find me when I'm free, and I'll show you around the place, but you're not missing much right now. I used to help people out in town. Someone would get stuck under a cart, or lose the family heirloom, or a monster would be ruining their farm. I'd fix their problem, and they'd invite me to dinner or give me money. I didn't need the money, and I didn't have to help them, but it was nice to do things just because I could. I liked having that choice.
Do you still do that now? Wes shakes his head.
The town was abandoned when the Resolution caught up to it. There's a big rift of void between it and the river. The wells dried up, the grains stopped growing, people left. There was nothing left to do, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Are you going to miss it if the world ends?
I guess, yeah. Mostly I'd miss hitting stuff with my shield.
And being free to do whatever you want? And you won't be able to live your life the way that you want to.
Yeah, something like that. That's why it's important that this place survives. When this is all over, we should go and kill some stuff.
You don't usually get asked to hang out and kill stuff. It's very flattering. Wes doesn't have a lot to say, but he lets you hang around a little longer, watching him go through his routine. Eventually, he begins to feel like you're overstaying your welcome. You begin to feel like you're overstaying your welcome. It's time to head out. But, I want to hang out with the tiger. Oh. We'll go in order. I don't really care about these two. You wander deep through the halls until the sound of clicking keys catches your attention. There's 3 items, right? Like they said that there are 3, but there's 4 people here, including me, right? Or Karen? So like sword, shield, and what, gun? Well, that means there's someone left out, right? Is it Cedric? I don't know. Peeking into the door, you're greeted by the sight of an old library. Huge shelves of books spiral past the first floor and into uncountable floors above, a wooden banister supporting a winding, rickety staircase with polished steps. You can practically smell the wood varnish and parchment from the doorway. In the center of the room is Luke, hunched over a table as he flips page after page of a dusty tome, taking notes on his laptop. His mouth is pulled in a thoughtful frown as he speeds through the book. Piles and piles of books are stacked around him like a defensive barricade. Oh, hello? Kyron, how's it going? Come here often. Luke's eyes snap upwards, and the pensive look is gone, replaced by his usual self-satisfied smirk. No, actually, first time. Figures. I feel like I'd have recognized you if I'd seen you here before. What's up with the books? Luke glances down at the mess below his paws, looking almost disgusted by the disarray. Nothing. Just looking for something. The world building in this place isn't very thorough. Though... Wait, thorough? Yeah. Thorough, though. So it's hard to find anything useful. World building? Yeah, world building. You know, like details about how the world works. Lore, geography, population information. Every person who took a shit last Friday at noon. What are you looking for? The end of the world, ideally. Remus says this stuff happens in cycles, so someone has to have written about it, right? Who would have written about something like that? People who write stuff down, obviously. He holds up several books, pointing to each author. Author Higglesbottom, Jenna Potter Slane, Irvin Mindstone, A bunch of medieval-sounding names that escape your memory as soon as they enter. But these books are useless. There's nothing in here that Remus hasn't already told us. What has he told you? Oh, you know, the usual. There's a big, terrible thing called the Resolution that's going to destroy the world, blah, blah, blah. It leaves behind this thing called Void. That's the empty pockets you saw earlier in the hall. And eventually the whole place will become like that, unless we stop it. It's not very original, if you ask me.
Right.
Do you believe in this stuff? You keep talking about this like you don't really believe it. Where are we even? Is this real life? What even is reality? You pull a face. No one's ever in the mood for an undergrad philosophy discussion. Just kidding. That was a joke. On purpose. Honestly, I don't know. But hey, check this out. Luke takes a step away from his desk, facing a bookshelf against the back wall. He bends his arms so that his paws are stretched away from his face. Wingardium Leviosa. Okay. The contents of the entire bookshelf fly from the shelves in a cacophonous. A flutter of papers and binding, dust blooming around the site of destruction. Books thud over one another on the hardwood ground, others ricocheting off nearby bookshelves and off the table. Loose papers fly from the bindings and spines crack. King of Nerds successful, okay. Somewhere inside of you, the kid you used to actually... Wait, wow, I can't... This is... somewhere inside of you, the kid who used to actually read printed books cringes. Pretty cool, huh? The Force has displaced a necklace around Luke's chest. An amber gemmed amulet that glows faintly with residual magic. No way. This place has magic too? Yes! Think about how cool it was, but don't tell him. Was that real magic? Holy crap! That's so cool. Maybe you can do magic too. Not impressed, huh? You shrug. The dust begins to settle on the covers of these scattered books, revealing the state of disarray the library has fallen into. You need the reverse Leviosa this, or... What? No way. Magic is supposed to be cool. It's for fireballs and death rays, not house cleaning. Besides, magic's better for breaking things than fixing them. Luke shrugs. Someone will come and clean this up eventually. And if they don't, well, the world's going to end anyway. What do you think is going to happen when the world ends? When everything dies, I don't know. I assume we'll all be shunted? Back to the real world, and then we'll never be able to come back here. His nose twitches in irritation. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to help out with this quest or whatever, but I'm not exactly overflowing with optimism. You don't think we'll be able to reach the mountain? Grim Mountain? Sure. We might be able to stab the heart of the world with your big, massive, throbbing sword. But what then? I thought that was supposed to fix everything. Maybe it'll be like turning it off and on again. None of the books mention anything about this. Whatever. My job is to be the sarcastic anti-hero with the heart of gold. I'm leaving worrying to everyone else. Luke smiles ruefully. With a snap of his fingers, the books lift themselves off, from the floor and shake off the dust that landed on their covers. Alright, I'm going to end the part here, everyone. So I will see you around.